Hi, Sam Villa here, and I have a special guest. We're going to talk about business and answer a question regarding business, which I think is a real important part of being part of a salon and being a salon owner. I have the fortunate opportunity to sit here with Sean LaRusso, the owner of 3 successful salons in Phoenix, Arizona, Madison Avenue Salon and Day Spa. Sean, it's great to be here with you, and congratulations on your success. I've got a question for you in terms of how does Madison Ave go about encouraging clients to pre-book on a consistent basis and keeping their appointments?
Well, it all starts, Sam, with the service provider. Obviously, having that conversation at the chair, in the aesthetic room, massage room, at the nail table, it starts with them, and really trying to get a clear understanding of knowing that the future success of their individual business lies in getting their customer to pre-book. So there is certain resistance to it.
Yes, there is.
So we offer a couple ways to make that happen. Number one, we have some pre-book giveaways. So we have a raffle. Awesome. So we'll give away free services for people that do participate in pre-booking.
So if I pre-book, so to speak, my card goes, or my name goes into a little raffle.
Correct. Not only your name, but the email address. The email address is used for our email blasts, which are done weekly as well.
Awesome.
So that's one way. The other way, which I encourage people to do quite a bit, and you typically would have a resistant customer, somebody who doesn't enjoy pre-booking, they feel like they're being pressured into it. What we encourage the service provider to do is to go back and get a snapshot of history of what this particular client does. You'd be surprised how many customers don't like to pre-book, but yet they, in essence, are pre-booking themselves. Why? Because they probably come in every 6 weeks. They're typically an evening client, and they typically come in on Tuesday or Wednesday nights in my example. So what you have is, if you can go back, if you can convince a service provider to go back, find history, document the history in your head, then go out into the front. Basically, in my example, it was a Tuesday evening, 6 weeks, go out 6 weeks, look at the Tuesday evening, 6 o'clock is opening, book the client at 6 o'clock, get an appointment card made out, client's processing in your chair, go back to the chair when you're finishing up with the client, let the client know, Mrs. Smith, I took a look at your history. The past four visits, this has been what you've done. And so I took it upon myself to go ahead and look out 6 weeks. I happen to have a Tuesday evening at 5 o'clock, and I booked you on that appointment. You don't have to deal with the front desk and booking that appointment. If that doesn't work for you, you can always call back in 2 weeks from now, whatever. That's one way. And that typically works really, really well. The other way that we try to work these things through too is to create a sense of urgency. Somebody who's building a book of business, letting the customer know that you're going to start getting frustrated with trying to get in, and we don't want that to happen for you. And I value your business.
Which is what happens a lot of times, right?
So you have to create that sense of urgency. Let them know that it's getting more and more and more difficult, whether it's centered around holidays. We do that with our holiday time with a lot of our customers. We encourage our staff to make sure that they're booking out not only 1 appointment, but 2 appointments, so that when it comes to holiday time, they're not scrambling to get appointments in and around holidays, whether it's Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, any of those holidays.
So do you allow them to book maybe more than 2, 3, 4, 5? Can they book the year?
Certainly. We have nail clients that book out a whole year.
Wow.
We have skincare appointments that they get waxing done, and it's a pretty steady flow. They book out quite a ways. And with our stylists, our service providers on the salon side, usually 2 is about the max that they'll do. Anything more than that, it tends to be a bit cumbersome. It depends on how busy and how much activity a certain stylist has. So some of them will go out 3 or 4, but mostly it ends up in around 2.
This is awesome, because my takeaway on this, and huge for me in the learning experience, is the prehistory. That is huge. Going back and looking at the prehistory, if they're booking every Tuesday at 6 o'clock in your example, why not pre-book it for them while they're processing?
Correct.
And then go back and say, I took the liberty to pre-book this for you. That is huge. Usually, we're trying to do that at the front desk.
Yes.
And they're trying to get out of there, and they go, I'll call, I'll call, I'll call.
Correct.
I just love that personal touch. And in today's world, you need that personal touch.
Yes.
This is huge. This is why this man is successful. And if your takeaway on this is, try that. The whole pre-search, that's huge. Sean LaRusso, Now I can see why this guy's successful. Masson Avenue Salon and Day Spa, Phoenix, Arizona.